Welcome back folks, welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. I'm Firm, and between episodes, as I said I would, I cleared out Hayes Tower of Flame of all except the Spear fellow who was up by where the dragon was. I've left him for now just because I couldn't be bothered with going up there, dealing with him, the really long run back to the bonfire. Everything else up there is clear. As you can see, we've got 81,000 souls to use up now. You might think you're going to get really overpowered doing this. Possibly, but I've platinumed this game before. The strategies still apply no matter what you really level at. The game's like very, I guess, comfortable in terms of leveling up. You don't really need to do it a whole lot. Like, obviously it helps, but you get more from leveling your weapons up and things like that and just getting better at the game. As you can see, we're level 69, nice. Also, I died a couple of times whilst the early stages of clearing that area out. So we're going to use that. Those are the stats. Again, we were focusing on putting some points into intelligence. I think we also need faith for the next area coming up. There is a NPC who has a requirement to speak to, at which point he'll sell you spells. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure we had that. Just the showcase. Everybody in this area, the Whitehead Knights and the Old Knights, are all dead. I think it's 9 times you have to kill them, although it does feel like more, so maybe it's not. Either way, we're now going to go through here. I believe the next area coming up is the No Man's Wharf area, which was on my very first playthrough of this game, way back in probably 2014 when I think the game came out. That was the original version of Dark Souls 2, but back then, the No Man's Wharf area I found rather difficult, I seem to recall. I wasn't aware of the interconnected layout of these games and therefore that you could unlock a couple of shortcuts, which I'll showcase in this video probably. It's quite a long area, so it might be split into 2, but I don't think so. There's quite a few changes made to the run-up, which we're doing now, before you actually get to the wharf itself in the Scholar of the First Sin edition of this game, so yeah, it used to be you could grab literally every item in this area, but as you'll see, there's, I think, another fragrant branch of your statue, which thankfully we have a branch so we can deal with it. Also, this guy's here now. I don't believe he was here in the first run of this game. I would be curious to play the original game again, but there's no way I'm buying it off Steam for 40 quid. I guess I could buy like a cheap 360 version for a few quid, and I may do if I see it in shops. Again, I can't say this enough, make sure you hit the chests before you open them, just to be sure. You'll see why later on. Also, that sublime bone dust we just picked up, we can use at a bonfire to strengthen the amount of Estus, or rather strengthen the Estus flask for the amount of health it gives us back. I am actually enjoying playing this game again after so long. It is definitely the funkiest of the series, but it's still a fun game. And enough time's passed since I platinumed it, but it's like, it's still fresh to me in some ways. There's areas later on I'm going to have no idea what I'm doing, particularly the DLC. It's worth noting now as well, you get all the DLC with the Scholar of the First Sin edition of the game. So, yeah. This is one change that was made to the collar area of this. All these enemies in the latter rear, especially that basilisk. And as I said, there's a fragrant branch of yore. There's actually a much stronger enemy up on this second floor that we're going to deal with. Or we're going to try and deal with. I don't know if we've quite got the DPS to do it yet or not, but I assume we have. I feel like this bastard sword could carry us through a fair chunk of the game from what I recall. I've never actually used it before, but just the sheer damage output we've got now. Unless it's like a war of attrition fight, we should be good to kill pretty much anything with this build. So yeah, this is the enemy in question. You usually don't see these till much later in the game. As you can see, they're big tanky boys. And they do a lot of fucking damage, so just be aware of that. I'm gonna retreat through here, because I know he can't get through here. As you can see, he's backing up, he realises he can't pass through that. Oh god. It's alright, we can take quite a bit of damage here, because there is a bonfire just up ahead. there's nothing really challenging between now and then. But yes, we get Esther's Flash Shard. There's a chest here. I believe it's got an armor set in it, or it did in the original. Yes, knight armor. We may actually switch over to using that armor. I want to get my, whatever it is that gives you more equip load up first. I think there's a couple of rings you can use as well. And now we go down to the lower floor again. I'll work our way through. I believe we meet Lucatiel again coming up, so we're going to sit through a dialogue. As usual, I'll mute myself whilst we listen to it. I think the boss of this next area is one of the ones we have to, well, we don't have to summon her in particular fights, but have to do a total of 3 summons, I think, and have her survive. So we'll do it in this boss because it's quite an easy one. I believe it's this. Anyway, there's another NPC that we haven't met yet who you have to do the same thing with, but I'm going to check between videos the fights that you can do it in, because, well, I feel like we should be able to do it later on. Your Lucatiel should spawn here, and that's concerning, but oh no, maybe she's moved actually in this version of the game. Maybe she's a little bit further in. So yes, this area was a nightmare on my first playthrough of the game. My ear should stand up. There's archers everywhere, as you can see, launching burning arrows. You just want to rush over here and deal with them. This guy's going to climb up over the side of the wharf here. That wasn't nice, but it's okay. Oh dear. As you can see, there is a summon sign there. You can use somebody to help you get through this area if you're struggling. For the most part, we should be alright. Who is this fella? Bradley of the Old Guard. It's nobody important. This is a little ambush room. Lots of people playing dead on the ground. You can also probably hear the dogs. I was going to say there's at least 1, maybe 2 around here. I do recall that. I know behind one of these bookcases as well you get an item in this area. I believe this area also holds my original weapon for like my first playthrough of this game. It may have moved to Scholar of the First Sinner. I can't remember. How did I miss that? So let's push on. That was a shortcut that I missed on my very first playthrough. You can push that bridge down to get back around. This water slows you down immensely, so get out of it as soon as possible. And as you can see, there's people playing dead, there's enemies in a lot of these buildings, I think. Yeah. It's a gank fight. Scholar of the First Sin is full of them, but I believe this one was also in the original build of the game. But we're flying through it at the moment. One of these roofs has a hole in it that an enemy drops through. I think. Or it might just be that samurai stood on that roof there. So let's bait him down. Oh, you little prick, you can do a jump attack. It's alright, we've got plenty of Estus to heal our way through it. Now this area does have a couple of illusory walls, but I don't think it's in this building. And I think it has both the type you have to smash and the type you have to use the action button on. Oh, I think Lucatiel's up here in this build actually. I think in the original she was down there, but I think she's in this building here. Always make a beeline for the dogs in this game, they can be a real pain in the arse. I think I just heard another one actually. Or it might have been this guy. Yeah, this area walled me pretty badly, not terribly, but for a while in my first playthrough of the game. Yes, here's Lucatiel this time. We're going to clear all the enemies in the immediate area up first before we speak to her. I might even push through and unlock the shortcut, but I don't think I will. There's a house here where there's a couple of dogs that can trap you and cause problems, so be aware of that. Also, we've got to be careful because we could die. Yeah, we're gonna die. Well, that's unfortunate. As you can see, I got back in there. I thought I could break through the wooden wall. Just be aware of things like this in this game. Yeah, you can get blocked in pretty fucking easy. There's not as much destructibility in the environment as you'd think. Just stuff like chests and stuff, boxes and stuff you can break, and barrels you can't really break. Wooden banks that are like crashed up against the wall and stuff. It's alright. As usual, we're going to reset our humanity just to make sure that if there are NPC invasions, we get them. I don't think there is in this area, but you never know. We're going to knock him off as well because, yeah, you can do that just to make your life a bit easier. You don't have to go up there because I've already killed him. As I say, it's a kill everyone once sort of rule, and then come back and clear the areas out at a later date. I don't know what he's trying to kill there. The AI in this game's not the best. Yeah, alright. Something that Death a moment ago should highlight is every enemy in this game can be vicious as well. Like, you should never assume anything in Souls games. You can be killed by just about any enemy at any time. Like, never ever think you're like too overpowered in these games, because chances are you're not. That's one aspect of these games I really like, actually. It's not just the difficulty itself, but the fact you can't really become too overpowered, because there's always a new enemy that's able to destroy you. Okay, so we're not going to make the same mistake this time. We are going to rush that samurai and kill him, and then we're going to get the one at the house. That went smoother. As I was saying, there is a house around here where you can get mobbed by a couple of dogs, but it's not this one. One dog on their own's no problem, 2 or 3 can be a pain. So we're just going to allow that one to make its move, kill it. Hope it drops humanity, but it hasn't. Not humanity, human effigies, sorry, they're called humanity in the first game. Although they have a different role in the first game also. I can hear a dog, but I can't see it. Okay, this is bad because we've now got a couple of different enemies stacked on us. I want to get a heal off if I can. Okay, this was the house I was referring to. I think we've actually killed all the dogs in the area, but it is possible just to get mobbed by them. And as you can see, we're being shot at by another archer. He's throwing oil barrels that will, well, light us up if we get hit by an arrow after them. All in all, not very nice. Through here is another awkward area just because of the sheer number of dogs. We want to lure them out one at a time, if possible. Okay, this is not going well. Let's heal to make sure we're at full health. And then we're going to rush this one. Hello, Fido. Okay, you're a prick. Dead prick, but the dogs are pretty fucking relentless, so just make sure you keep strafing them and kill them off as quickly as you can. Oh god. We're being shot at from the side, and oh, there's one there. I don't know where, but it's alright. If you see that fire slots down there. All that does is illuminate the area, which I believe scares off some enemies that we're going to see soon. I believe they're afraid of light. But they're going to die regardless. It's not these guys, by the way. Fortunately, that's the end of our Estus, so realistically, we might have to... Alright, please die. This was another one of those ambush type rooms I mentioned earlier. It's very possible to go around the back there. There should be a chest or something. And to just get mobbed. Also, I said there, might need to go back and get our heals back after get life gems in it. Very controversial addition to the whole series. I'm thinking we probably still will have to go back to a bonfire though and get our healing items restored our Estus fast. Because the area coming up can be rough. I don't think it will be too rough, but I am out of practice for this game. Also watch out for that guy, he drops down behind you. This place is an absolute fucking, well, showcase of all the bullshit this game can do. So here you have like a minor shortcut that leads back to this spot. We probably won't be able to get it this trip. We might have to get it next time and just skip past a few of these enemies, but... There's some titanite shards there, yes, and repair powder. Oh god, but fall damage in this game is horrendous. So, there's an item on this roof, make sure you get that. I probably shouldn't be pressing on here, but I'm going to. But first we're going to go and talk to Lucatale of Mirror, who you may recall's here, and while we do, I'm going to shut up and drink my drink.
I thought that might be you. You haven't changed a bit, have you? The longer I am here, the more madness I discover. A wretched place indeed, but not without traces of its former glory. What could have caused such degradation? Ah, yes. I have not thanked you for humoring me the other day. This is for you. Of course, I've no idea what it is. Our land of Mirror is surrounded by enemies and constantly at war. There is only one way up in Mirror. Join the Order and prove yourself in battle. My family had little fortune and no name. I had to carve out a piece of the world for myself. With two things, my sword and my loyalty to my lord. I was raised to wield a sword from birth. Life was hard, but I never gave it a second thought. I had swift success on the battlefield and quickly attained respectable stature. And then I came here to... Have you heard of the undead? These poor souls affected by the curse. An undead gradually loses his humanity until his wits degrade completely. Finally, he turns hollow and preys upon others. And a hollow can never be human again. One can skirt this wicked fate only with the help of the souls found here. Assuming, of course, that the legends are true, I can only hope that they are. I'm sorry to burden you with talk of my fate. I suppose I've grown weary these days. I'm sorry. I suppose I've grown weary these days.
It looks like she took a mask off there. I could be wrong. I think she did. You may have started to trust us or something now. But either way, that's Lucatale of Mirror. Raised build the swords in. Yeah. Don't know a lot about the lore of this game, as I said previously. Okay, so these are the things that are scared of light. If you have a torch out, they'll back away from you. Otherwise, they just keep coming. But it's alright, they're pretty frail, they stagger easy. But these are why we may have to turn back, because, yeah. I mean, as you can see, they do massive bleed damage. One more hit and we're dead. So, ugh. I really don't want to back up, but we might have to. Unless we can just take these one at a time. Maybe get rid of the archers as well. I think that might be a good idea, actually. No that room for now. Focus purely on these horrible archer people. I thought another one came through there, but apparently not. Oh, yes, this room might be a stumbling block, actually. Okay. I'm gonna back up out of here for a minute because, yeah, this could get ugly, but I want to make sure I get the shortcut unlocked, so I'm gonna try and play this as safely as I can. I've just thought as well, we do still have a couple of healing items. We'll use that. I always forget just how much this game, oh god, loves to give you healing items. I also very nearly died there because I didn't see him until the last minute. If we get the shortcut open, I will feel a little safer. So let's pull this lever. You can see that ship in the distance. Well, it's suddenly alive again. And starts moving to that wharf there. We've got to pass through there and get onto that boat. Take us somewhere. We'll find out soon. Let's proceed. Now, I'm sure there's another enemy in this area. Yes. No, that's not him. There's another enemy in this area that could be a real pain in the arse. Okay, we want to try and get through this as painlessly as possible. But it might be difficult because these things are fucking awful. It's just that bleed damage, the way it stacks up. I can't remember. Is that this building or the one below? Ah, it's the one below. Okay, so yes, there's... Oh no. This was where I thought there was a different enemy type as well though, but it might only be in New Game Plus. Oh no. So all that talk about getting a shortcut opened just completely screwed me there. So I think this may end up being an area split into the backsides because I'd like to get the shortcut open and then maybe call it a video, because I don't want this one going on for like 45 minutes to an hour, which it might end up doing otherwise. That was very silly of me. I overextended trying to hit the guy. So let's just heal, and while I'm here I'll show you the... Oh, you have to burn supply and bone dust back at the jeweler. So maybe that's what we'll do to end the video. We'll use the other Estus card we got, we use the Undead Bane Shard as well. Oh my god. I feel like the amount of damage you do, or rather the amount of attacks you can get off for the amount of stamina you've got in this game is a little bit poor. Like, I can get 3 attacks off, I think. It's not enough really. Like, in Elden Ring I can do consistently 7, 8 attacks. And admittedly I have much higher stamina than I do here, but it just feels like this game's a little cheap. It also feels like there's a slight delay between allowing you to put in inputs. I did notice that when I was slaughtering all those enemies between episodes. Like, I'd queue an attack and it'd just not do it for like a while. And also there's a knockback on pretty much everything that happens to you. As I've said a few times now, this game mechanically isn't as polished as the others. It's still good. Just, oh my god. I need to get back to those souls, really. Because, yeah, I don't want to lose them. So we're just going to ignore a fair few enemies between there and here. Okay, so the dogs heard us as well as the samurai. Oh no. Okay, so there's a lot of enemies here. This could be another death. So I think I'm going to just sprint through since I've killed all these once. I'm going to one-shot this guy, hopefully. Oh god, they can follow me a long way. That's nice, 2-1. I don't think any of those enemies can follow me this far, so I should be safe. So, we now want to just drop down to where we were, which was here. Right, that triggers him getting up anyway. This was the guy we were trying to kill. That's the room we laid out. Oh, this was the enemy I was thinking of. This was added to New Game Plus. Not to New Game Plus. To the Scholar of the First Sin Edition. These enemies. They were originally only in the boss encounter of this area. In a New Game Plus room. But they got added to the base game for some reason. Scholar of the First Sin. And it's a bit dumb because they're rubbish enemies. They're really nothing to do whatsoever. Okay, so those pots are filled with poison, so just don't get hit, or don't end up stuck in them. But this room, when I said earlier on, there's quite a few hidden doors and stuff. I believe this room has one. Okay, please don't fucking despair on me. You. Always make sure you get those little crystal lizards, because they're usually carrying good upgrade materials. What's the Royal Soldier thing do? I believe it increases equipment weight. Yes. We're going to use that because that will be useful for wearing heavier armour. At the moment we're not really built for better armour, but we will be. Now, am I right in thinking there's another wall in this area? Or is it the next? Okay, so that's the poison I was saying about. I actually have an item from earlier in the game that heals poison and increases false health. But yeah, if you hit those pots you get poisoned. Bit dumb, but it's a hazard. Why is it still going up? Okay, I don't think that's supposed to be happening. But whatever. We are now getting close to the shortcut that I was talking about before. Sorry, I'm really not speaking a lot at the minute. Open that. Just making sure there's behind there. I was sure one place in this area had two hidden holes. That could be wrong. There's an enemy upstairs, as you can probably hear. Then you've got Governor here. Talk to him in a moment. When we grab the item up here, he's already gone for some reason. Okay, I thought there was an item there, and there probably was. It probably just glitched out. Anyway, I'm going to shut up while we talk to the fella up here.
Who are you? I, Gavlan. Gavlan will, Gavlan deal. Gavlan wants soul. Many, many soul. What you want? With Gavlan, you will, you deal. Gavlan will, Gavlan deal. Gavlan wants what?
Okay, so this guy's like a bit simple. He's very Hodor-ish. For any Game of Thrones fans. Now we're actually going to buy this off him now, just in case I forget at a later date. Because the primary use of Gavlan is to sell items that you either have duplicate of or you just don't want. As a rule, I like to have one of everything. Okay. There's Masters, or the second one of that. We have 2 short bows, so they can go. We will slowly accumulate duplicates of those things just from when I go and farm areas, like clearing them out between episodes. And Gavlan appears periodically if you sell things to. As you can see, we've got 3 old night leggings. Doesn't have anything else to duplicate here. We're going to sell that because we won't use it. We won't use magic buff. All those. Right, that. Sell one of those because I won't use them. Won't use them. Can't imagine ever using these. And then the online play items can all go as well. And that can go as well. So, just from that we've made a fair few souls. And this was the shortcut I was speaking of before. You pull this ring. And that slides upwards. And then we can just kill him. We're not going to go and clear that area back out, I don't think. Or are we? No, there is a room we didn't clear out up there actually. But I think first we're going to push on down here. I'll probably call the episode when we've got the other shortcut unlocked and checked out the room up there that we still needed to do. So we're going to come down here. I knew you were waiting there. I forgot there was a second one. Unfortunate, because we're now very close to death. Okay, so in there's a samurai who comes back to life, I remember that. Nothing in here. Okay, so we want to get rid of this guy down here. For some reason the dog's followed us down, which isn't good. We'll kill it, just to make sure it can't do any damage. Grab this item. And then we're going to come over here. I can see you. We'll just kick him off again. And knock this down. It's a short talk all the way back over there. Before we go back over there, there's a fellow up here to talk to. This was the fellow I was talking about when you have to pass a skill level check. You have to have a certain level of intelligence. I'm going to shore up while we talk.
From this day, you shall be my new pupil. I am Carillion, Carillion of the Fold. Surely you've heard the name. Now, do not be afraid. Let us explore the limits of sorcery. The forces of magic and souls lie dormant in this land. It is a fitting place to hone my sorceries. I suspect that I may even conjure up new spells here. Sorcery is yet a mystery even to me. Let us mature together, young pupil. Use scrolls to unleash the power of sorceries. But the power of each scroll is reliant on that of its owner. The untrained cannot wield a scroll to its proper potential. Never forget, young pupil, there are no shortcuts to mastery. The forces of magic, and it is a pity. I suspect sorcery is yet...
Okay, so this was the guy you needed a skill check to get to sell things to you. Caroline of the Fold. He can reinforce a pyromancy flame, which allows you to use fire magic. And he sells a few things. We have a sorcery staff, health these, and these. Now, I actually think it's probably worth buying his inventory out now, just so I don't forget at a later date, so I'm going to do that. I believe you can pick these up, but we're going to get them anyway. Make sure. Oh, there we go, we've spent 20-something thousand souls.
But
the scrolls is talking about, I believe, are items you can use, but I could be wrong there. I might be confusing it with another game. Either way, that's Berlin of the Fall spoken to. Got all these items, spoken to Wictail. We're now going to rush through to the room that we didn't clear out before. And then we're going to go back to Majula. In fact, no, we won't go back to Majula. Have what? No need to at this point. Okay. Left area. Okay, so these guys actually waited up here. I don't know why. Usually they just reset back to their spawn point. But these three feel very upset with me. So we want to make sure that at least got extra health so they can't kill us with bleed. They do take quite a bit of knockback, so it's hard to follow up sometimes with an attack. So if you just do that, and then also I realised between videos you can actually do a jumping attack in this. I thought you could, but I couldn't remember the input for it. So there we go. Now there was an item here. Still needed to grab. Had a spell and a soldier skull. Come here and then back up. First, yeah. This was the building that I said that we would check out. Okay, you'll wonder why I'm doing this. Okay, something should happen there. God, not happening, and it's concerning me that it's not happening, so we're just going to open the door, then back up, because then it happens. Yes, something breaks through there. I believe it's supposed to do it anyway. But I could be wrong, and that's the bleed damage I was worried about as well, so we're just going to get healed back up. And that's those cleared out. I think there's another one, or maybe two on the upper level. If we run through here, it might drop down behind us. Maybe not. I just misremembering the placement of enemies. No, there is one there. trying to get a backstab attack in there, but the game just wasn't having any of it. Okay, what's through here? I think Gavlan used to be in here actually, the original build of the game. There's another nest here that's a trap one. I'm gonna guess that. And I think that one also is. One of them spits poison, I think. It might be this. Or that might have been replaced for this build of the game, but we're going to roll away just in case. And this was the weapon I used for my entire first playthrough of this game, and I'm actually tempted to switch over to it a little bit now. I have 28 strength. As you can see, it weighs an absolute ton, but it hits like a freight train. I mean, I think I was with the shield, doing that, and that, and that. What's its two-handed moves that way? Do that. Do that. Just testing it out, see if I like the feel of it. It's very slow, but it's also very, very powerful. I think I could see myself switching over to that when I hit 28 strength actually. How far off are we? 8 other X requirement. Yeah, I think we could end up using it, to be honest. But anyway, we're going to now go back to bonfire, and then I'll call it an episode because, yeah, I think that's a fair bit of progress. And as I say, I don't want the episode particularly running over to being like, well, hour long or whatever. But we're going to go and heal at the bonfire. We're going to reset everything. Maybe come over here and end the episode over here. As you'll see, there's a summon sign there. I think we have to summon Lucatale at this point, or we're doing summoning Lucatale at this point for the boss fight, which is, spoiler alert, in the boat. But we'll have a look at that next episode. I'm not going to lie, I'm getting rather tired now as well. Yeah, good thing. So we're going to go from the unseen path to Hage bonfire. To the other side of the bridge we kick down. Clear out the enemies on the way there, and then we should be good to go. Please stand up. Okay, you're dead. Grab that. You're dead. You're about to die. Oh, you dick. We're going to use the life gem just because I don't see the point in wasting a Estus Blaster there. Use another one just to make sure we're at full health ready for the next episode. Get rid of these. Are you going to get up off the side? Yes. Get knocked back down. And this was the spot. As you can see, you know what? We'll deal with this guy as well. Just so there's no nasty surprises. Who is this? This is Lucatale, so yes. This is where we could be doing with summoning Lucatale. But more on that next episode, folks. Thank you for watching, and until next time, till then.